Disclaimer. This is a work of fiction. All characters, events, and institutions in this story are purely imaginary. Any resemblance to real people, governments, or public figures, living or dead, is entirely coincidental. This story was created for entertainment purposes only. Previously on The Prime Minister and Me. A coffee spill turned into a scandal. A freelance journalist became the Prime Minister's most inconvenient crush. And Daisy Moore, master of sarcasm and emotional evasion, somehow found herself at the center of a tabloid frenzy, with her heart beating far too fast for someone who claims to dislike politics. Chapter 4. Rumors, red carpets, and a crisis of the heart. Daisy Moore had survived many disasters in her 29 years. A rogue raccoon in her bathroom, an interview gone viral for all the wrong reasons, and once, a truly terrible haircut that made her resemble a startled pineapple. But she was woefully unprepared for her latest ordeal, a red carpet. Yes, a real one, with lights, cameras, and a long list of do's and don'ts, most of which Daisy promptly ignored. She tugged awkwardly at the borrowed gown, too silky, too slinky, and far too likely to expose a wardrobe malfunction if she so much as breathed. Breathe shallow, Daisy, don't trip, and whatever you do, don't spill anything on the Prime Minister. Because yes, she was going to this gala with him. The entire world now knew about the journalist and the PM, thanks to an enthusiastic photographer and one very dramatic photo of Elliot holding Daisy's umbrella like a chivalrous Regency hero. But when she stepped out of the car and took his arm, she forgot the flashing lights, forgot the crowd, forgot even the fact that she had lipstick on her teeth. Because Elliot Sinclair was smiling at her like she was the only person in the room, or in this case, the entire nation. "You clean up nicely," he murmured. "And you still look like trouble in a three-piece suit," she replied. They walked the carpet like pros, or at least Elliot did. Daisy mostly blinked against the camera flashes like a startled deer in heels. Inside, the event was a blur of champagne and string quartets, but it was in a quiet corner near the balcony that Daisy's night turned. A whisper. A sharp, pointed voice. She's not even from a respectable background. She's just a distraction. They'll eat her alive if this goes public. Daisy didn't flinch. She was used to judgment. But hearing it out loud, here, in his world, it stung. She needed air. Moments later, Elliot found her standing outside, staring at the night sky like it held answers. "You heard them," she said without turning. He joined her side, voice gentle. "I did." "Tell me the truth. Do you care?" "I care about you." It wasn't a grand declaration, no sweeping romantic gesture, just 5 simple words that felt heavier than anything she'd ever carried. Daisy exhaled, a long breath she hadn't realized she'd been holding. "Elliot, I don't know if I fit here." He turned to face her, eyes softer than she'd ever seen them. "Then I'll change what here means." Under the stars, far from the cameras, the whispers, and the polished halls of Parliament, the Prime Minister and the mess of a woman he couldn't stop thinking about stood in silence. Not lovers, not quite a couple, but something was shifting, and neither of them wanted to stop it. Chapter 5. The Kiss That Made Headlines. It had been 3 days since the gala. 3 days since Daisy stood under a velvet sky beside the most powerful man in the country, and felt utterly powerless against her own feelings. She hadn't heard from him. Not a single message. Not even a typo-ridden, "You okay?" that she might expect from someone less prime minister-y. Just silence. And in that silence, Daisy's brain did what it did best. Panic. She overanalyzed every moment. Maybe he regretted inviting her. Maybe she embarrassed him. Maybe kissing her was never on the cards at all. So Daisy did what any reasonable woman would do. She put on her oldest hoodie, bought a pint of ice cream, and rage-watched a political drama until she passed out on her couch. The doorbell rang at midnight. She thought it was a delivery mistake. Instead, it was Elliot Sinclair. Standing on her doorstep, drenched from the rain, hair dripping, tie gone, eyes pleading. I couldn't stop thinking about you, he said. I needed to see you, tonight. Before I talked myself out of it, he stepped closer. The air between them pulsed with something unspoken. Emphatically, I don't care about protocol. I don't care what the papers say. And then he kissed her. It wasn't polite. It wasn't restrained. It was every bottled-up moment since their first sarcastic sparring in front of the cafe. Every held breath, every stolen glance. It was hands in hair, rain on skin, and the unmistakable sound of two people completely surrendering. Daisy didn't even realize her leg popped like in the movies until she nearly knocked over her umbrella stand. He pulled back slowly, resting his forehead on hers. I think I'm in trouble, he whispered. She grinned. Oh, Prime Minister, you have no idea. The next morning, front page. Prime Minister's midnight kiss. Who is Daisy Moore? Suddenly, she was a national headline. Her inbox exploded. Her mom texted her 16 times in all caps. And someone on Twitter made a fan edit of the kiss, with dramatic music and slow motion. She should have panicked. Instead, she laughed. Because for the first time in her life, Daisy wasn't running from the chaos. She was in the middle of it, and for once, she didn't feel lost. She felt exactly where she was meant to be. With him. Some kisses change nothing. Others? They change everything. Chapter 6. The Speech That Changed Everything. By spring, the pressure was building. His advisors wanted her gone. The tabloids wanted a scandal. The public wanted answers. And she just wanted a life where being with him didn't mean losing herself. Then came the final straw. A leaked memo suggesting he was planning to propose not to her, but to a European trade deal. So she left. No dramatic breakup, no angry texts. Just a note, taped to his fridge, next to his mug collection. You were never the problem, but I can't be your shadow. For weeks, silence. Then, on a Friday evening, just as Parliament was closing session, Elliot Sinclair took the mic at a press briefing and did something no Prime Minister had ever done. He told the truth. I've spent my entire career choosing diplomacy over emotion, but I fell in love. Not with a policy, not with a poll number, with a woman who made me want to be more than a headline. And if choosing her costs me my office, I'll consider that a fair trade. The country lost its mind, but she just stood frozen in front of her TV, hand over her mouth, heart racing. 2 hours later, her doorbell rang. There he was. No bodyguards, no press, just him. Hair a little messy, tie missing, hope in his eyes. I'm not asking for perfect, he said. Just real. And somehow, through the chaos, through the flashbulbs, through everything, they found a quiet, beautiful yes. Not for the cameras, not for the world, just for them. And that's the end of The Prime Minister and Me. A love story that started with a mistaken kiss, survived rumors, red carpets, and political storms, and somehow found its way to something real. Daisy never planned to fall for a prime minister, and Elliot never expected to find his heart on a crumbling cafe floor. But love, as it turns out, doesn't care about plans, titles, or public opinion. In a world of flashbulbs and speeches, they found something quietly extraordinary: each other. Thank you for listening to this bittersweet romantic comedy. If you laughed, sighed, or rooted for them even once, this story was for you. Until next time, keep believing in unexpected love stories, stories in English.